To start off our ventures, we're going to need to fill a paint can full of any type of dried organic material, preferably willow bark, but that is not attainable for me right now. So we're going to be using just these dried leaves I have in my yard. Now whether your leaves are slightly wet or completely dry, it really doesn't matter because we're basically going to be cooking out most of the organic materials in them, leaving us with just the charcoal. Now you can see I've put this can in a fire before, but I don't really want to start a fire right now just to make some charcoal. So we're going to see if this electric hot plate will work the same way. I'm very impatient and I thought this would take a long time, so I got my forge out. Now imagine my surprise when less than 30 seconds later, the thing is already off-gassing the fumes. Now this is starting to make quite a bit of smoke, so I've added a fan for ventilation. Here we are 2 kilowatt hours later, and I hope it worked. Let's see inside. It's literally the leaves, except they're completely carbonized. Now since it's all fluffy inside here, and we need to grind it up later to make it a fine powder, I'm going to start grinding it up a little bit with the end of this hot glue stick just to get the overall volume down. Now that it is a lot more dense, we can put it in the grinder. Let's fill the grinder with the carbon. Now it's packed, and we're going to put on the lid and start grinding it for about a minute while shaking it. Now we have our powder, and we're going to put that in a separate container. Next up, we're going to need a cup and a small scale. It does not need to be exact. So first we're going to add 35 grams of charcoal powder. There we go. Then we go to 100 grams with potassium nitrate. There we are, 100 grams. Now do not stick this back in the grinder because we do not want it burning inside the grinder. Mix it with a spoon and you'll notice that it is totally fluffy. This feels literally like water to me. It's like a liquid. Because there's air trapped between each particle in the mix, it's acting like a liquid. After that, I added what I had left of my magnesium shavings. And this is just for special effect. Next, I took a cheap plastic container and stabbed it to death with an awl. No need to worry because it was quick and painless. Now I've got a small hole right here in the bottom of our container, and this is what we're going to put the string through. I have a bunch of cotton yarn right here, and it needs to be cotton because polyester will not work at all. After spending 15 minutes trying to find the end of the string, I finally found it. And now we're going to put it through the hole from the inside. I got it through, and now it's time to make the slurry. We're going to add about 50 milliliters of water to the mix we have already, and then we're going to dump it in the container right here. As you mix it, you may be surprised that the mix actually gets colder. And this is because the potassium nitrate is mixing with the water and reacting with it, causing an endothermic reaction. Oh yeah, it's really getting cold. Don't stop mixing until all the dry powder is gone and it is turned into a thick slurry. You can add as much water as you want, but just know that it will make the drying time longer. Now let's go outside so we don't make a mess. We'll dump it in here and start making the black fuse. I clamped the setup to the fence post. I agitated the slurry one more time to make sure it was all mixed. Then I poured it in. You'll see that when I pull it out, a nice thick coating goes in the string. I'm getting some inconsistencies here, so I'm just going to dump the whole thing in the slurry. This is to help it soak a little bit longer before it comes out. That took a while. I underestimated how much string I'd need. I got through almost 500 feet, and now it's sitting out to dry. So I'm outside at night, and here's part of our yield. I have 6 rolls exactly like this, and this is about 50 feet of the string coated in the gunpowder mix. So here's a burn test of a small piece of the twine. As you can see, it burns quite well, but it does leave some type of embers, and I'm not sure why that is. I think it's because I accidentally used polyester string without knowing it. So I haven't posted a lot of videos lately, and that's because I'm working on some much larger ones, including a solar array and a 5 kilowatt hour lithium phosphate battery pack. Now these videos aren't cheap, so feel free to become a Patreon at patreon.com. The link is in the description. And let's get on to the finale. So here I have a small paper cup full of the mix that didn't get used, and we're going to light it off. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.